Hey all, Scott here from Art of the Genre, and today I'm going to talk about bucket lists. I think most gamers probably have some kind of bucket list. I don't know if they directly relate to games, but it is something that's probably been on my mind for a long time, and it's one of the reasons that I created the folio, because I kept having a recurring dream that I would walk into a game, like a used bookstore, and I would find an old orange cover AD&D book that I did not have, and then the rest of the dream would be me trying to acquire it in some fashion. But nevertheless, I think we all probably have some things that we remember we have nostalgia over. And my biggest one probably is Robotech. Robotech is something that I talk about him all the time. My old DM, my good friend Mark. And he said when we were in middle school, he said, "You got to watch this animated show." It was on at like 8 a.m. WGN out of Chicago. And I got up, and the first episode I ever saw before I went to school was Symphony of Light, which is, of course, the finale of the third series of Robotech. And I was so excited about it. I went and recorded it on an old VHS. And of course, at that point in the 80s, we didn't really know how to program VHS players to record every day. So I would have to get up every day. But the funniest part about it was I recorded that episode. The next day, I got up to watch what happened next. And I went back to the first series because they just replayed the series. Introducing Rick Hunter and all that stuff. And I was like, what is this? This isn't what I thought it was. But nevertheless, I watched it, absolutely loved it, got up every morning, and still had those VHS tapes for many years. Went to the first DVD collection, and it was really, it was neat because it was a bunch of boxes, but they were kind of poorly done in quality. And then I ended up selling all those a few years ago and got the complete set, which are remastered. So I got them. Of course, we waited years if you're a Robotech fan, and we finally got the Shadow Chronicles, which a lot of people were disappointed in. But I was so excited just to get anything for Robotech because I'd been following it for so many years. Back in the 80s, of course, I read all the novels. This is one of the compilations, but they were all like small books, actually. And finally, one of the latest ones I read was Before the Invid Storm, which has a huge impact on me because you've seen videos of mine where I play Before the Invid Storm in that campaign setting. And that's we're gonna come back to that here at some point. But I ended up buying a PlayStation 2 so I could play Robotech Battle Cry and Robotech Invasion. No longer have the disc cases for those, but I still have the discs. Of course, I collect the little Robotech figures. And I, of course, like most people, had some comics. These are a few of the Malcontent Uprisings. They're really tough to get, but this is an excellent series, 12-part series. If you can ever get your hands on them or read them, they're pretty awesome. And then, of course, we went to Main Hobbies in Lafayette, Indiana, and we ended up buying this bad boy, the Palladium Robotech role-playing game. And the memories from this game are pretty much out of control. The pages are, of course, yellowed because I've had it for so many years. And then we would anticipate what's coming next. What's coming next? We're going to actually see Southern Cross. Yes, of course we did. And we played the heck out of Southern Cross, one of my favorite settings, actually. And we played the hell out of Invasion. And then we were like, oh, we've gone through all the series. And then, of course, they came out with the Sentinels, which was the hour-long movie that I ordered on VHS, of course, just so I could get that. And we had the Sentinels so we could see what was going on with that. And we played it, and we played it, and we played it, and played it until the 80s expired. And then we went to college. And we still wanted to play Robotech. So we had played all the scenarios. Instead of going back and replaying them, we thought, what should we do? So in the mid-90s, I was moving around the United States and met a few people, one of them an artist, and his name is Jason Burnett. And he was able to do some pieces for me. So I typed up on my first computer, which was a Gateway 2000, I typed up this bad boy. This is Robotech After the Apocalypse, and this kind of goes through all of the scenarios and everything that we started doing when we were building an expanded universe for Robotech. I took it to a gaming store and started gaming in it in Maryland. And everybody there was like, Robotech, what are we going to play this for? And then the next thing, I was running 2 gaming sessions a week, and 12 players in each session. Everybody really, really loved it. So I came out with more books. I came out with the Mercenaries Codex, which of course is just more stuff, and then I decided that I would add, psionics and weird stuff in it, and I came up with the powers that be. So that details other things that I had in expanding in the universe. One of everybody else's favorite, this is a small book, this is Trader's Heaven. This just comes up with cool items and stuff like that. And I came up with that bad boy. And then to expand the universe, I came up with this monster. This is Robotech Armada, which goes through all of the basic armadas and everything, and ships of all the planets that we'd created and all the cultures we'd created and everything that we'd stolen from various science fiction writers. And we played the heck out of that for many years as I was in Maryland. And just continued to play and play and play. And then finally, my son was born in 2006, and I ended up moving to California, and didn't have any players out here, so it kind of, Robotech went on a hiatus because I wasn't playing a lot of games out here, but I did meet a lot of people, and that's when I started doing Gygax Magazine, doing the Folio, and getting back into just basic gaming for D&D and stuff like that. But I never lost my love for Robotech, obviously, and as 2020 started to come around, I ended up starting to write a little fan fiction, which you can actually find on artofthegenre.com. These are all free. They go by chapter, called the Quadrano War, which I had a lot of fun writing. And then I ended up meeting Jonathan Thompson. Rest in peace, Jonathan. I miss you. And he ended up getting a sub-license for Robotech, and he created Savage Worlds from Battlefield Press. And so in 2020 or so, 2021, when Zoom started coming into effect, I got some of my players together, old friends, and we started playing a Savage Worlds version of Robotech, and that is Before the Invid Storm. So we played that for a couple years, and I had a lot of fun in that, and I ended up creating some pieces of artwork for it. And just didn't think much about it, posted them up on Facebook, just as something that I was doing that had to do with those characters. My main character, Vitaly Zhukov, and various other characters that were involved in that campaign that we had a lot of fun running. And then a few years later, Strange Machine Games ended up contacting me on Facebook. They had sublet the Robotech universe to Jonathan, but when Jonathan passed away, all of his plans to do any further Savage Worlds versions of it went away. But of course, Strange Machine was still producing these gorgeous books. And I mean, if you like Robotech, I highly recommend these books because they are really, really, really well done. Beautiful books, and take you into extreme detail of anything you would want to do in playing the system, and they are their own system. Great books, and I haven't gotten a campaign done for it at this particular point, but I think I'm going to plan on it because I recently got, they sent me Homefront. Why did they send me Homefront? Because they saw my images created by the same artist who, of course, works in these books. And they wanted to use them for Homefront because of my campaign for Before the Invid Storm. So I said, sure, you can absolutely use them. I would love to have my characters become canon. So I guess they would technically be canon because they were in the role-playing game, and I'm going to take it as a victory, and that will be a bucket list. So here are my characters fighting away inside a Mach 3 with an Alpha, and I think there's one of my characters out of Bioroid. We've got a Terminator pilot in there. We've got a Southern Cross Trooper, and anyway, they're fighting the Invid as they come in. And there's some of my characters down here too. There's Vitaly. So that was pretty cool that they put that in there, and I just recently got this book and have been digesting it over the course of the last couple days. Very happy to have it, and I'll show you the last one. And this is the cover that I did for before the Invid Storm. And there's Vitalia and there's everybody else. We've got a Mistress of the Cosmic Harp, some mercenaries in there. Anyway, a hover tank down below fighting, and Vitalia was a member of the Wolf Pack. And if you ever read Before the Invid Storm, some of the Wolf Pack did come back in that book, and he's one of those members that was sent with a Tyrolean diplomat who was played by Mark, who was also in those books. So anyway, here is Homefront. This is a fantastic book. It's considered a supplement for the setting, and it takes you through both Southern Cross and the third series. And I'm very excited to see what happens when they go out past this as well. They would go into the Sentinels area, and we get to see all kinds of cool stuff. And they always post stuff on Facebook about some of the artwork and stuff like that they've got for these. But anyway, fantastic. These are beautiful, beautiful, well done books by Strange Machine Games, and I really appreciate them taking the time to unintentionally, I guess, check off something on my bucket list. So anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about in Robotech today, that I actually got my characters in a Robotech book. So for that little kid that was 11 years old when I first started watching Robotech and thought, how incredible would it be if I could be a part of that universe? Technically, I am a part of that universe, or at least my characters are, along with Rick and and Scott Bernard and everybody else that I have loved all these years. So that is it for today, but I I'm going to put a link to their webpage in there so you can go take a look at their books as well if you want to. And otherwise, thanks for staying to the end of the video. And as always, great gaming.